Hello, and we are back with week 4 of Johto's Finest Pokemon Major League. Oops, that is not a Honedge, that is an slash that. Uh, so, spoiler alerts in the 3-2-1 for last week. 3, 2, 1. We lost. We picked up our first L of the season. It was a close one, I believe it was a 1-0 loss. So definitely not my worst by any means. I wasn't a huge fan of the matchup, and there were some problems with it, and I also played pretty bad. Is what it is in the end. We're just going to move forward. We're still 2-1. We have a very decent shot at playoffs. It's a pretty long main season, but we'll see how we do continuing forward. Our opponent is packing a terrifying team. Zapdos, Venusaur Mega, Victini, Terrakion, Primarina, Sneasel, Drampa, Colossal, Gastrodon, Frostlass, and Aegislash. We got the same team we always do. We got some pretty fun sets here for this week, so I'm pretty excited to get right into it. We are facing Spoon, I believe. Spoon, yes sir. Alright, first off, got a very simple Life Orb Latios set. Max speed to try and tie Frostlass and win that speed tie. And then just coverage to hit everything. Draco Meteor, they have 2 resist, Primarina and Aegislash. One can't take Psyshocks very well since its Fizdef is pretty terrible. The other gets whittled down fast by Mystical Fire. Surface for a potential Spadef Victini, and also to hit Spadef Colossal, which is a threat. Psyshock, Venusaur Mega can take Psyshocks better than Psychics, but it's still 2 shots, so I think the choice is perfectly fine. It's a very basic set. It's our big special breaker. I think it's our big offensive piece this week. Outside of one other I got to surprise you with at the end. Next up, we got Mask off the Rose Raid here for Redemption. Bring in AV. I think this might be the second week in a row we bring AV. I love AV Rose Raid. Sludge Bomb, Leaf Storm, Extra Sensory, HP Ground. Yeah, Dual Stab hits them really, really nicely. The only resists, kind of, are like Colossal and Aegislash. Both get destroyed by HP Ground. Extra Sensory is just to do a little bit more to Venusaur. We got the special attack to be breaking through the routine like crazy. This is our main defensive answer to Primarina, Venusaur Mega, and special Aegislash. And also Gastrodon. Sorry. Roserade not being able to be toxic is really nice. That's kind of the source of this set, but I think it'll work great. Next up, Rudolph Von Strudel. You know he's pulling all the weight again. This guy always has to do everything around here. You want to know why? It's because Rotom Heat is a goated mon. It has an incredible typing. I love it so much. I draft it every time. This is our answer to Victini and Zapdos, 2 very scary offensive mons. It is basically our sole response to these. If it dies, we can't really beat them very well. So we're going to have to play very careful with it. We got an uber specific EV spread to make sure stuff like Volt Switch is able to like 3KO Super Spadef Primarina, stuff like that. We got Toxic to hit everything except like Venusaur. To be fair, Venusaur does wreck this set, but I think it's fine. Defog to get away Spikes and Stealth Rocks. Next up, we got Cable, our Scizor. This is our only check to both Terrakion and Sneasel, but it does so pretty darn well. We have that little bit of attack to make sure we can 2-shot a no HP Aegislash with knockoff, and also to get a cleaner kill with Bullet Punch on Terrakion, especially at -1. So, but yeah, this is a pretty simple set. I wanted to run Toxic on it, but I really genuinely think knockoff is important to make sure we can hit Aegislash. Yeah, very basic. Fizdef Mega Scizor is really good in this format. Next we got Sheldon, our weakness policy Slowbro, with Trick Room, Fire Blast, Psychic, and Scald. I love this set so much. I really hope it puts in work. It can't hit stuff like Gastrodon super effectively, but that mon isn't going to be doing any huge damage to it anyway. I'd say Drampa might be the biggest threat to it, but I mean, if we're at +2, at +2, a modest max special attack Psychic is hurting really hard. So this, I think the set will do just fine. Slowbro, I don't really need it defensively this week. Terrakion gets Mega Horn, for those of you who don't know, so it's not even that effective. Victini's Bolt Strike, if they're banded, is a 2KO, so it's just, it feels a little weak defensively, so I'm bringing a fun sort of fake out type of set. And finally, I'm super excited for this one. We got PILOSWINE. We are bringing the ham with max attack, a little bit of special attack, and HP. This is our second Trick Room mon. It functions under Slow Rose Trick Room with Earthquake, Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, Freeze Dry. This hits their team incredibly well. PILOSWINE dual Stab wrecks them. Gastrodon is their only great switch-in. Freeze Dry, after Earthquake, kills it 100% of the time. I'd say Venusaur is also a mon that can switch in on this set, but, I mean, Venusaur can't do everything here. It'll get pressured really hard. Depending on the set it has, it won't be able to touch stuff like Rootle, Maskoff, Wambulance, Cable. Those mons can come in and start to chip it down, and the set will work just fine. I think we got a pretty decent squad here. I don't love our matchup this week, especially against Terrakion, Prim, Victini, and actually especially Aegislash. Terrakion might be the biggest threat, but we'll have to see. I think we might be able to handle it decently well if we play our cards right. No Clefable this week, which absolutely hurts my soul. I love Clefable, but it just can't really find its way through here. I know I'm keeping it pretty brief lately with the team builders. Let me know, guys, if you're into these and want a little more detail in the future. I can even give some notes, like some more specific notes on EVs and stuff, and why I form my stuff the way I do. But if not, we're just gonna hop right into the battle. So, we are coming at you guys with something of a different format. Something of a different video type. And in case you haven't figured it out by now, that is because I was really busy. I was with family. I was swamped at the time when this battle took place. It was also pretty early in the morning for me. I think it was like 9 a.m. So I just didn't want to record it live. So we're just going to do a post-commentary on this one. So there's not going to be any live calcing or anything. And I'm just going to try and give a general view so you guys are clear on like why I did plays, and just so you can watch the match along with me. So let's go for it. Alright, so I led Rootle Von Strudel just because they did not bring a ground type. They didn't bring Gastrodon, which means this thing can pivot around super freely. I made that first play I did just because Scarf Primarina, like Moonblast, is close to unresisted on my team. Well, we got our 2 resists, but... Oh wow, we got 3, never mind, I'm stupid. Point being, basically, Primarina is very scary offensively, even if it may not seem it. Its dual stab is strong, so I wanted to be safe and go into my Rose Raid. And they doubled into Venusaur, which was interesting. Here I just wanted to hit it. I just wanted to get Chip. I went for Sludge Bomb, predicting a potential switch out, but they stayed in. Went for Sludge Bomb of their own. It actually ended up doing a little bit more than I expected. But actually, doing 38 with Extra Sentry was way too little, so I found out they were Spadef Venusaur from that. But I thought, hey, if I get a flinch, I win this 1v1, so I thought, no reason to stay in, right? I thought it'd work fine. Next I went for a Hidden Power, ground, got a crit, which was very unfortunate. A crit normally would have killed this Aegislash, so I discovered they were very, very, very Spadef. That Shadow Ball did next to nothing. So honestly, at this point, I was just thinking, you know what? I want to click buttons with this thing, and what happens is going to happen, right? So I just keep clicking buttons, man. I click an HP ground, do a lot of damage to Victini, but then I was like thinking, wait a minute, it's lefties, that did 40%, and I did a little calcing, and I figured out this is a Spadef Victini. So they got Spadef Venusaur, Spadef Aegislash, Spadef Victini. They send out their Sneasel next. They knock off as I go Cable. That is huge damage, so I found out they were banded. I just went for a U-turn here since I knew once I Mega'd, I wouldn't be 3KO'd by anything from Sneasel anyway, like no knock. And then we went into Latios. Here I clicked Psyshock. I didn't really think I was threatened by Venusaur, and I knew that'd do the most to Prim, and yeah, we ended up doing some massive, massive damage, which was super great. This thing is chipped down to almost nothing. I went for another one here. They predicted that and went Sneasel, so excellent play on their end. Alright, next I want Cable. They missed their Axel, so I've been getting decently lucky so far, but nothing has mattered a huge amount. We just go for another U-turn, getting a little more chip on Zapdos. Able to get in a Rotom Heat here. This was just to see what they're up to, get a Toxic on it, I believe. Yes? No, I went for Volt Switch, never mind. But yeah, then we ended up just back into Wambulance. And for Draco Meteor, I honestly was thinking at this point in the game, I don't have a huge reason to predict, so I just went for a Psyshock. Here, let me pause. So I went for a Psyshock there, they protected. I'm guessing they predicted me to Psyshock again and were sacking this, or they were predicting me to overpredict, which I did, because then I switched into Scizor expecting their Sneasel. They went for a rest and got all the way back to full. So that was a bit of a misplay on my end. Here I went for a Knock to remove their lefties. Fortunately for me, they went Aegislash, and now its lefties are very much gone. I'm noticing they have pretty much mono lefties plus like a band and a heavy duty boots. But yeah, here we ended up going Rudolph on Strudel. Victini, it's a Fire Spin set, which was interesting. So it's a Trapper. I don't know why it would be a Trapper, given my team is close to mono pivoting. But you know what? The set isn't that awful versus me, so I totally get it. I'm going to slow it down even more. Here we went into the Ham. I just wanted to see how much damage we could do. And we went for an EQ, doing massive damage to Venusaur. So Venusaur is getting pretty darn low. And this gives us a free switch into our Latios, because they had to heal here. Oops. And I'm just going to turn back a little slow. So they ended up going for a Leech Seed here, which was interesting. They have Synthesis and Leech Seed, which I kind of didn't expect. So here I went into my Scizor, because I found out if they have Sludge Bomb, Synthesis, Leech Seed, I assumed they would not have HP Fire. Here I believe I may have gone for a Roost. No, I went for a Bullet Punch, expecting them to stay in. But, here I just go back into my Rotom Heat, protecting a Heat Wave or a Hurricane, which, yep, they go for. I think I may have clicked Volt. Yep, alright. And then I can get in my Latios again, and you see the cycle here. Wambulance is just going to keep on clicking buttons versus their team. I think I went for... No, I went for Mystical Fire. Alright, so I'm doing a little bit of over-predicting at this point in the game. But honestly, I was willing to bet myself on Sleep Talk RNG and just go for a Psyshock into them. It turns out they did not appear to have Sleep Talk at all. Oh no, never mind, they do. But this is a Rest Protect Sleep Talk, so I don't think you can get Protect from Sleep Talk. I could be wrong. So I was surprised by this. I don't know what their last move was, maybe Water Coverage. But whatever they had, they wouldn't be able to hit my whole team. So I honestly just kind of wanted to go for it. So, Wambulance getting pretty low, but we go into Scizor, we're able to heal up here on the knock since Sneasel's not doing enough damage. Which does let them get Victini for free. This is a very defensive Victini, I've discerned by this point. But still, I want to just go Rudolph on Strudel. I don't want to risk them having like a V-Create or something and hitting Scizor hard. They did get a Toxic off against us, which was pretty unfortunate. Go for Protect, just slowly chipping us down. This taunt was a little useless here. I would have gone for a Fire Spin for chip, but I did it. Another unfortunate crit. I've gotten decently lucky this game, which sucks. And then PILOSWINE comes in. And I'm thinking, at this point, I just Earthquake, right? So first, I Earthquake Venusaur. And then I get a priority Ice Shard off. At that point, they're in range at 100% kills. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. What's going on here? They send out Sneasel. Knockoff does decent damage, but it's not enough. And another Earthquake is going to seal that. Victini comes out. They go for a Fire Spin, doing 17. PILOSWINE is that bulky. We go for an Earthquake and pick up the kill. And then Zapdos is the last mon to come in. And I think you guys can see where this is going. Heat Wave is not able to pick up the KO against the Ham. The Ham is too powerful. So Icicle Crash into Ice Shard is going to seal the game. So they did Upper Gastro, so PILOSWINE was pretty darn free, especially since they were Spadef Venu. And Spadef Venu was carrying with a lot of the hacks pretty much the entire time. Oh, sorry. Spadef Venu was covering a lot of the mons on my team. Like, it covered Rose Raid and kind of Rotom, and even like Scizor and PILOSWINE. So it had to pull so much weight, it couldn't keep up, which totally fair. It makes sense. I think this was a game that was won in prep, not because I prepped better, but because I think they prepped partially for some of the wrong stuff. Definitely prepped a lot for Clef, from what I can tell. In the end, we got the win. We got the dub, which I'm very happy with. A 6-0 to help our differential. So our diff is definitely up a lot. I think we're in like maybe 5th place or something like that, because honestly, there are a few people in this league still undefeated. But I know this wasn't our normal format and probably isn't as fun a vid for some of you guys to watch, but it'll be another live battle next week for week 5. Sorry, Spoon, you didn't get a live react, but I mean, if you're watching this, make it to FOSS, my guy. We can rematch and I'll get you what you need. Alright, you guys, have a great rest of your day. I'm signing off. Happily 3-1. PILOSWINE, stay winning.